So, hello all, and welcome to World Tour 2019. Even though we might be the happiest country in the world, I would like to remind you that the world is actually in chaos, and we are part of that world. Our politics, our business, and the way we live our lives is being disrupted. We are in transformation from a world of familiar and traditional to a world of unfamiliar, fast-paced digital business. Business used to be complicated, but now on it's becoming complex, which means that it is, well, how could I say, unpredictable. And at the heart of this chaos, I was wondering that, are we seeing a breakdown in trust? Because trust is actually becoming more and more important now and for the future. We all know that trust is the most important thing how we build our personal relationships. And no business could function without trust. You might be aware that already more than half of the world's population is online. It means that being digital is becoming a norm, and being non-digital is becoming more and more exception. And we also have seen how immersive the online world is. And for instance, in the West, people spend already around a third of their waking hours online. And I think even more significant is the change what we are seeing in economics. You have already seen those digital companies arriving. And it is not really nothing new that companies grow and they may have hundreds of millions of users. But the speed and the scale that these new digital companies are advancing is something new. And coupled with all that knowledge and information that they gather from us, from their customers. So, how do we build trust in this era? Traditionally, and the most fundamental form of trust has been the trust between people. And the trust was scaled when we started laying our trust in organizations like governments, banks, and others. Then was institutional trust introduced. And we all need this, but it's not and no more enough. We need to add a new layer to this model, Trust 3.0. This digital trust underwrites distributed transactions and assures trustworthy of data. Fujitsu conducted this year a research in February of 900 business leaders, people like you in 9 countries. And there were certain concerns expressed that how do we work with things like privacy, security, and trustworthiness of data. 70% did find difficult to judge if online information is correct or trustworthy. 72% were worried organizations exploit personal data without permission. And 68% were concerned about the leakage of customer data. These are big numbers. And if we are going to build technology that are going to make decisions, how can we be sure that these technologies are free of biases? Is that even possible? And that question is actually not only for businesses, but also for government and the whole society. We have used to make decisions using our knowledge and using all our human senses. Sometimes it's based on our logical thinking, sometimes it's based on just we feel on that very moment. The International Gymnastic Federation announced a partnership a few years ago with Fujitsu in order to develop a practical judgment system for gymnastics in order to improve the accuracy of scoring in these competitions. This system was already tested in Montreal 2017, and it was verified in Doha, Qatar 2018, and this year it will be used in the championship competition in Stuttgart later this year. My point here is that actually International Gymnastic Federation is not going to replace judges, but they are going to make this tool to help judges. Technology is brilliant at assessing the performance position of the gymnastics, but AI doesn't have artistic appreciation. That's a human ability. But combining these two, these judges, the human abilities, with technology, we can actually provide much more results. But to really trust in AI, I think we need to know what their reasons and the judgments are based on. And to do this, Fujitsu has developed Explainable AI. This was made by combining two unique AI technologies like knowledge graphs and machine learning with features that can explain the reasons how it does those judgments. And this technology has already been applied with Kyoto University to identify a potential gene mutation that causes cancer. It required that AI learned 180,000 pieces of gene mutation data to do that, and it was combined with 70 million medical papers and 10 billion pieces of knowledge. And doing so, it was possible to join the dots between this gene mutation and the medical cause. In Finland, we at Fujitsu have already established our local AI team that works closely together with our customers and our other AI specialists around the world. And we have already seen that actually AI can be a really powerful way in areas where we people are inefficient, like analyzing a lot of data. We have already seen that equality is part of Finland's success. But what we have already also seen is that one of the biggest challenges is the social exclusion of youngsters. We have started a project with the hospital district to detect these socially excluded youngsters, together with social and healthcare professionals, in a way to identify together those patterns and analyze the information in order to detect these people, the next generation of us. But we need to deal with the complexity of this new digital world. And we need to find ways to solve the problems that are in the scale, in line with the scale of these challenges. And traditionally, there has been difficulties to use computing power to solve major issues because there might be so many possibilities that it's just not possible. Fujitsu's digital annealer technology is the first step on the road for this kind of incomputable challenges and problems, because it can actually solve and find a number of possible solutions simultaneously and come with an answer instantly. This technology has already been trialed with major UK bank in order to find the most risk-optimal way to hold financial assets worth of 120 billion British pounds. And it has also been used with a Japanese pharmaceutical company to work on the structures of new drugs, even though there are possible combinations like 10 to the power of 100, like more atoms that we have in our universe, but still come with an answer in seconds. But it is also good to remember that that building trust and driving operational efficiency is related to something that we already do. We at Fujitsu, we have already started using machine learning in our service desk in analyzing ticket data and categorizing it. And we use robotic process automation to do operational tasks, for instance, in purchasing, where we used to do things manually. And we have a Swedish manufacturing company called FlexLink, or is it FlexLink? Help me, my Swedish colleagues here. So we have provided them a robot which can cut down the time to update part numbers across their documentation. And the time to do this was reduced from 20 minutes to 5 minutes. And we have provided another robot to make a supplier reports, cutting down time from 2 hours to seconds. But it's important to remember that AI or robotic process automation is not necessarily the silver bullet for all challenges and problems. Sometimes it might be the good old stuff, traditional integration in the systems, or using platforms like ServiceNow. We have a close relationship with healthcare organization Apotti, and Apotti uses, for instance, ServiceNow, supporting their end users, controlling their change management, and even gathering development ideas from the users. But in this era, when we are entering into the digital world, I think it's really important to also make new connections and leverage ecosystems. That is really important to find new ways to grow business, be creative, and enlarge your business. But it is good to remember that in the end of the day, many of our organizations still have those legacy applications and ICT environments there. And it is really important to find out that what is the right balance and try to avoid that your way to the digital world is like a digital plaster. So have a right balance, have a right journey way to the new in order to get the best out of new technologies and realize the true business benefits. We have had this kind of a journey with Belgium company called Acerta. We have helped them to shift their IT infrastructure, including their applications, and migrated them to the open environment, which made it possible to get cost efficiency, but also we were able to support their business strategy to have better time to market. Oh well, I have talked quite a lot about technology, and obviously I work for a technology company. But I think the most important thing is that the important thing is people. That is in the very core. And we should build our businesses around people, and also our society around people. And we should use technology to empower people. Humancentric is in the very core at Fujitsu. And we believe that that is actually the key also to the world, how we all want to see that. Fujitsu has a co-creation approach called Human-Centric Experience Design. And this is the way how we can help customers to solve problems with us and meet their business challenges. We also help our customers to be more agile. And that can happen by helping our customers to working truly around people, whether providing cloud or workplace services and technologies, or aligning ourselves to customers' business targets. What the customers are also saying to us is that skills are coming more and more difficult part in the game. We are in the race for talent, and technology is continuously evolving. But the question is that how our organizations and we people are able to cope with that. And therefore, I would like to show you a video from one of our customers how we here in Finland are helping them to be more human-centric.
IT-palvelut ovat kaupunkien ja kaupunkiorganisaatioiden kannalta kriittisiä. Niiden kehitys on jatkossa erittäin tärkeää. Ulkoistamisella halusimme varmistaa, että meillä on osaava ja luotettava kumppani, joka pystyy sekä viemään palveluitamme eteenpäin että takaamaan niiden toimintavarmuuden. Yhteistyö Fujitsun kanssa tarkoittaa sitä, että meillä on kumppani, jonka kanssa voimme katsoa yhdessä tulevaisuuteen. Se mahdollistaa sen, että pystymme kehittämään palvelujamme nopeasti ja pystymme myös omaksumaan uusia toimintatapoja ja uusia järjestelmiä riittävän nopeasti. IT-palvelujen, niin kuin kaikkien muidenkin palvelujen idea on tehdä kaupungista parempi. Ja lopuksi meidän keskeinen asiakas on aina kaupunkilainen. Toimivat IT-palvelut ovat paremman kaupungin tekemistä ja oikeastaan asia on niin, että ilman toimivia IT-palveluja mikään kaupunki ei enää pysty kasvamaan ja kehittymään.
Fujitsun sopimukselta odotamme selkeää IT-kustannusten laskua sekä asiakaslähtöisiä ratkaisuja. Sote-palveluiden täytyy toimia ja ilman kunnollisia IT-palveluja ne eivät vaan toimi. Fujitsu-yhteistyö luo erittäin hyvän pohjan asiakasystävällisten prosessien kehittämiselle.
Fujitsu valittiin kumppaniksi, koska se on vahva toimija terveydenhuollon tietotekniikan palveluissa. Perinteisesti kaupungit ja kunnat ovat itse hoitaneet ICT-järjestelmät, mutta nyt tarvitaan parempaa osaamista. Kumppanuuden kautta voimme hyödyntää laaja-alaisesti Fujitsun osaamista julkisella sektorilla ja luoda järjestelmän, joka vastaa myös tulevaisuuden haasteisiin.
Fujitsu tarjoaa tietysti jatkuvasti kehittyvät ja laadukkaat toimintavarmat ICT-palvelut. Myöskin meille syntyy Lahden seudulle vahva osaamiskeskittymä, joka palvelee muitakin asiakkaita. Fujitsu tarjoaa pääsyn resursseihin, jolla pystytään jatkuvasti vastaamaan kehittyvään teknologiakenttään ja tuodaan jatkuvasti uutta osaamista. Yhdessä uskon, että me luodaan parempi asukaskokemus Lahden seudun asukkaalle. Suomalainen julkinen sektori on ollut aina hyvä keräämään tietoa, mutta nyt on aika laittaa se data tuottamaan myöskin lisäarvoa. Tiedon analytiikka, tekoäly, pilvipohjaiset palvelut ja se, että tuotetaan sitä oikea-aikaista tietoa päätöksentekijöille on äärimmäisen tärkeää. Mutta ei pidä unohtaa tärkeitä asioita, kuten tietoturva. Se on tänä päivänä todellinen uhka ja se pitää ottaa vakavasti. Julkisen sektorin pitää olla nyt rohkea uudistamaan sekä toiminta- että työskentelymallejaan. Teknologia ei korvaa ihmistä, vaan teknologia voimaannuttaa ihmisiä. Se auttaa ihmisiä tekemään parempia päätöksiä oikea-aikaisesti. Laitetaan ihmiset keskiöön, sekä työntekijät että asukkaat Lahden seudulla. Yhdessä me varmasti päästään kohti Fujitsunkin visiota, mikä on ihmiskeskeinen, älykäs yhteiskunta.
I think we can't ignore the social challenges, even though we can do a lot of things in ICT sector. But I think it's really important to look the whole picture. There are a lot of pressures related to our environment, aging population, health, and even urbanization. And I'm truly happy to see that based on this our research, we see that already over half of the companies and organizations, 66%, are considering having these United Nations Sustainable Development Goals as part of the business agenda and integrate them into their strategy. We at Fujitsu take this really seriously, and we are committed to be or have zero CO2 emissions by 2050 by Fujitsu. And we are already on this track. So since 2012, we already have cut our CO2 emissions by a third, and we will keep going. The other way how we can contribute is to do this together with our customers. We have provided a digital twin to certain customer in Finland called Proventia, who has brilliant invention to make cleaner air. And this happens by equipping vehicles already in traffic and by this, you can actually cut down the CO2 emissions in order to meet the latest Euro 6 standards. And instead of just investing to new one bus, you can actually retrofit 20 existing buses. So how does that sound to you? And our task is to share the data and make sure that these retrofitted buses are truly providing only butterflies. So in our research, we also asked question, what makes you trust an organization? And the top answer was that it is really important that organizations set a clear vision. And this is something that Simo Leisti, our CEO, also reminded on the video. Our vision is human-centric intelligent society. So we totally agree with this. But I'm sure that, for instance, Simo would like to also emphasize these other topics that came out from the research. So it's really important to be close with customers and put them first. And also build robust ecosystems and not forget that how to make the positive impact on your society. So what's the actual purpose? So to finalize my part, I would like to give you 3 actions to create a trusted business. The first one is to think how to architect a purpose-driven business. And it means a lot about leadership. It starts from there. But it is also how to build the ecosystems around you that fits in your plans and support your business objectives. Secondly, I encourage you to build a human-centric organization. Think of how you can empower people, how you can make them more creative. Think of how you can have the skills that your organization needs and how you can make your organization more agile and be ready for the world in the digital world. And thirdly, I will ask you to drive the business with digital. We have already seen how dramatically technology can change the business environment. So think of how you can use the cutting-edge technologies like AI and get the value out from data. But think first, what is the purpose that you are trying to achieve? But with these 3 things, I would like to remind you that we are committed at Fujitsu to help you in these areas. And we believe that that is also the way how we can build the human-centric intelligent society. Thank you.
Great slides, don't you think? What a great presentation.
Thank you.
Wonderful overview of a lot of the stuff we're going to be talking about today. Great ending, the 3 sort of long-term objectives, but for today, you know,
Yeah.
you're a driven guy, I know that, very driven guy. What are our objectives today? Päivän tavoitteet.
Päivän tavoitteet. Targets for the day.
Yes.
So my ask for you all today is that really be open. And enjoy the atmosphere and the people around you here. And secondly, be curious. I think we have a lot to learn here, a lot to share here. So be curious. And thirdly, find a thing, 1 or 2 things, how you can really contribute to your own organization and help us to make the better world and human-centric intelligent society. Be open, look around, listen others, and make a choice how you can contribute.
So be open, be curious, find something useful, and buy something from Fujitsu. Oh, sorry. I'm just kidding. Oh, no. I'm just kidding. Give him a very big hand. Give him a big hand. Kiitoksia.
Kiitos.
Mahtavaa.